What's up, guys? Welcome back. Corey and I are on the road. We are currently in Clayton, New Mexico, kind of in the corner of Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico. And we are on our way to Dallas, and we're gonna have the Dallas meet tomorrow night. It's a 12-hour drive from Denver. We hit the road from Denver at like 4 in the morning this morning, so it's gonna be about 5 or 6 this evening when we get to Dallas. We've made some stops to take some photos, and just kind of take our time so we're not pushing too hard. But we are driving through the middle of nowhere, New Mexico, for miles and miles and miles after southern Colorado. So we're about to enter Texas. We're on our way to Amarillo. Maybe we'll stop by Cadillac Ranch. Corey hasn't been there yet. And if you guys remember the Q45 cross-country trip, it was super rainy and cold and oddly packed when we were there last time. So we'd really like to get a chance to be there and actually get there with no other people in order to kind of absorb how cool that place really is. We made it to Texas. Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. Everything's bigger in Texas except the Cabrio. But it's kind of overcast. It's not too bad. Weather's good. We're heading into Tex Line now and on the Amarillo. Hopefully we can get food there. Probably Whataburger. You guys know. We know. So, Corey, have you had Whataburger before? No. Corey has not had Whataburger before, so we're gonna try to get that either in Amarillo or once we get on to Dallas, but we're hammering, we're cruising. All right, guys, if you remember back last year when I drove the Q45 cross country from Los Angeles, we stopped in Amarillo, Texas to see Cadillac Ranch because I'd never seen it before. And I was so excited because I'd always wanted to see it. It was so fascinating to me. And when we got here, it was rainy, it was miserable, it was just about dusk, and there was a ton of yelling, screaming kids. And now we're here and it's pouring rain and it's a swamp. Yep, that's it. Sorry, Corey.
That's all right.
Put that up. Yeah, that's it. We're not even getting out of the car. It's pouring. Nope. And literally 2 miles away on our way in, the sun was out. So just our luck. How many times do I have to drive across Texas to where I can get here early in the morning and it's like a sunny day? Cool. There's a Whataburger about 3 miles from here. So that is where we are headed. All right, guys, something super special is coming up. We're in the middle of Texas still between Amarillo and Wichita Falls. What? That's not fair.
What just happened?
That's not even fair. That's not even fair.
Oh, is it gonna go to 1 now?
I don't know. Did it literally just start over?
To get all my cars past 300 and it'll just go back to 0.
This car just became so much more valuable.
Oh my god. What on earth?
Oh, that's amazing. We are in Quanah, Texas.
Quanah?
Quanah. And I got another stock up on iced coffee. We're not even to Wichita Falls yet, so we're still about 3 hours or so out. We've literally been just driving straight for the last like 4 hours, 5 hours. But we did this drive in the Q45 last year, and it's not that bad. It's really cool to go through a bunch of these like small, worn out towns. If we had more time, we'd stop in every single one of them to take some photos because there's a lot of really cool old porcelain-sided, dilapidated garages and lots of really cool cars sitting on the side of the street. No, we weren't driving with the top down, even though everybody wants us to, including JJ from ROTIFORM and all the media guys. We just take the top down so we can get all our stuff out. Because as you guys have seen in earlier episodes, there is far too much stuff in this Cabrio, even with the bikes on the rack. And as you guys can see, this is an urban bike lock when you've got a trunk rack. Now obviously someone could go through the trouble of trying to get the rack off, But if you're not going far, it's quite a bit of work. And this stuff is kind of hard. It's quite a bit of work to get those bikes up right now. So that's what us poor BMX kids back in the day used to do. Back up to a light pole, back up to a tree, especially if it's a Thule, like 1-inch receiver mount. Yeah, so we got a quick little bike walk. Gonna go get checked into the hotel. Oh yeah, we're here in Dallas. We are in Dallas, Texas. We made it 8:30, almost on the dot, Central Time, which is an hour ahead of where we left in Denver this morning. It's so crazy to say that. We left Denver this morning. Denver, Colorado, in the Rockies. Yeah. So we left Denver at 4, but then what I didn't film was we raised the Cabrio. I know coilovers only go one way. We raised the coilovers because it was rubbing on every tiny little bump, and we nailed the pan real hard last night, like real hard. No leaks. We got away from it. It was all right. It's got a skid plate that's welded onto it. Did its job. But when we hit the road this morning, the roads are really, really bad on 25 going south out of Denver. So we stopped and raised it. That took over an hour. So it was almost 6 o'clock by the time we left, which means it was about a 13.5-hour drive. And we stopped a bunch too to like take photos and eat, and yeah, we just kind of, I mean, we hammered when we were driving, but we did stop and like take some photos and whatnot. So a 13-hour haul in the Cabrio, rubbing from Salt Lake to Denver. There's some rubber just stuck in here. And here's what's crazy. Tomorrow's night, Dallas, Texas, pop-up meet. Tomorrow night is at BMP Tuning, which Autry, I think, owns, or at least works for. I think he owns it. Is who Carl bought the car from. So Autry sells Carl the Cabrio last week. It gets on a truck, transported to LA in Riverside, gets unloaded, goes into Core Motive. We work on it for a couple of days. Corey and I get in it, drive it to Dallas. By way of San Francisco, Tahoe, Salt Lake, Denver, Dallas. So we were talking to Autry today, and he's like, this is absolutely insane. Like, I don't even know what's going on. We're here, gonna get checked in, catch up with Gauge probably, Gauge Doisher. You guys saw him on my last trip through here in November. And go get some food and maybe ride now that the sun's going down and it is not 95 degrees anymore. That's Gauge now. All right guys, good morning. It's the next day and we are at the Roanoke, Texas skate park. And it's already probably about 100 degrees out. I mean, mid-high 90s. We met up with Gauge Doisher and we're about to somehow ride. Any of the clips you guys are about to see in this episode, I am reaching so deep to do, and right off the bat. We're filming a few clips now before we start to die because it is so hot and our bodies we're used to this Texas sun and heat. As you can tell, I've got a sweet straw hat. It's the first one I've ever bought, first one I've ever worn. And we're trying to knock a few clips out before we get too burnt and tired, so see how it goes. Oh, it's so hot. Wow, I can't believe that happened that quick.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Oh man, this thing was in my eyes. I couldn't see anything when I threw the bars. They just floated like, there you go, can't see anything. RoboCop. Oh man, 36. I feel like, no, I'm not even gonna say what I feel like. I kind of feel like 80. Yeah, so this is probably a bad idea. We're still here at the Roanoke, Texas skate park, and we're dying. Corey's doing better than me, I think. I feel like I'm on shutdown mode. We just had Gauge's girlfriend and her friend go get us waters because we did not prep well enough, and some skateboard kid's mom let us use her sunscreen. This is how unprepared we are on this trip, and this should fit right along with all the other variables and unforeseens we've had on this trip. We're just getting punished, whether or not it's by Carl at ROTIFORM or it's the sun above us. So we're here. We're actually reaching real deep on some tricks. Gauge is doing some wild stuff and I'm trying to keep up. Somehow we're out here. Oh, no. Yo.
What was that?
No, that was
I'll take it then. That was sick.
Dude, my foot was on my frame.
I like how you did that. Ah.
Dude, my left foot was inside my frame. We're done. We're done. That took everything out of me, man. I was so scared to do that. That bank's only like 3 feet long, and it's a pretty good step up and gap, which means you've got to really put the juice to it. Oh, thank God.
Yes,
thank
sir.
God. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh no. I do have toothpick grinded that. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. Why? Oh, why? Oh, you've got to be kidding. All right, so we can't stress this enough. It is so hot. Actually, let's take a look. How hot do you think it is? You got a weather app on your phone? 93. Feels like what? Because it feels like 150. The furnace.
Feels like 100. Yeah. Feels like 100.
I worked so hard on that line.
Did the best running man.
Yeah. Luckily, the GoPro 7s have good stabilization. We're on like GoPro 9 or 10 now, but we're using an old 7. And half of these lines that I do, Corey's running as fast as he can, and it's stable. But we worked real hard for that. I'm real happy. I wanted to switch 180 out of that feeble, but it took so long, and I'd basically do 2 runs and then sit in the shade, 2 runs in the shade. So to get that done, to get into that feeble, I figured I'd just leave it the way it was. And now we are waiting for the AC to run in the Cabrio out in the parking lot before we make a charge out to the car and straight to the hotel room to sit in front of the AC unit until the meet tonight for hours.
You've always get smoked when they like try to creep up.
I know.
Like, that's a big change.
What are you doing?
So there's
Where's your bike?
Where's your bike? There's 2 things I've always wanted to do on a skateboard, and that's roll in on a bank and then move up to drop in on a quarter pipe and do a kickflip at some point in my life. Now, when I was a kid, all my friends skateboarded, so I started skateboarding. But every time I tried to like learn ollies, like I'm willing to bet like my rear wheels never got off the ground on a skateboard on an ollie. But I kept falling over backwards, and then I thought, well, you know what? I can hang on to a bike, and I've like jumped tires in my backyard, as every kid does, really. So I stuck with riding. So today with Gage here, killing it on a skateboard, I'm gonna start on this real mellow bank for my first time ever rolling in on a skateboard. And then maybe, just maybe, go to like a steeper one. But you guys are about to watch me spend the most time I've ever been on a skateboard. And we're gonna get this with 2 cameras. So hopefully I don't get smoked. Pray for me. Oh, that's it. That's it. Let's go to a quarter pipe. Oh, switch. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I do not want to get pile driven into the concrete at the bottom of the bank. I've seen people do this for the first time. That actually wasn't bad. I'm stoked on that. But that clip is so boring. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I've got too much feet for this. my gosh. All right, so we got a challenge for Gauge since Corey and I are on our own challenge with ROTIFORM. So we're gonna challenge Gauge. What is that? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 set. There's a 7 set over here that you guys saw me do the feeble down the hubba. Hard flip, 1 try. If he lands it, I Venmo him 10 bucks. If he doesn't land it, he Venmos me 10 bucks to help us get home.
It's a challenge.
It's on.
Let's go.
Oh my! Oh no! Wow! Wow, sir. 10 bucks. 10 bucks on the money. That was so good. There it is, 10 bucks.
Deal's a
Got
deal.
the hard flip.
Yeah.
Deal's a deal.
We're out here.
We're out here burning. Roanoke, Texas. All right, let's go back in the hotel and sit in the AC. Holy cow.
I agree with that statement.
Holy. See you, man. Nice to finally meet you. Yeah. Yeah?
What's going on?
Car looks great, man. Yeah. All right, guys, we're here at BMP Tuning with all the boys. We got more crews hanging out. People are still floating in. Rain is definitely coming. That's not good, but after today's session in 100-degree weather, yeah, we welcome it. But yeah, we're just hanging out. Definitely wish we ate before we came here. You as hungry as I am? I'm pretty hungry, yeah.
Now that I'm not super hot.
All right, Autry, I gotta ask you. So Autry owned the car before Carl bought it, and just had it in Helen, Georgia, and so it got transported out to California just last week on air, on Gaudis and all that, and we ripped all that out, put it on cast rotiforms for the trip, put coilovers in it, and just ravaged it across the country, and now it's back in his driveway at his shop.
Circle of life. I love it.
I'm glad that he loves it. I messaged him and said, hey, do we go wash it or do we bring it in battle hardened in road trip mode? And within a second he messages back, battle warned.
Yeah, I don't wash cars anymore. Perfect.
Yeah, see, I'm glad he said that. I was afraid. I told Corey, I said, I'm embarrassed and ashamed to bring it here.
This white car sits. This
Yep.
A3 S3 thing.
Yep.
Sits. It's dirty. We didn't wash it.
Oh yeah, I don't wash any of my cars.
The RS6 is clean is because it has like 40 miles on it.
Yeah, well, it's an
Brian won't drive
RS6.
it.
Yeah. All right, guys, that'll do it for this episode. Dallas has been fun and very, very hot, very, very humid. The lens can't even stay clear. We are headed to Chattanooga, Tennessee. About a 12-hour drive, and hoping we don't hit much rain. Yeah, I'm burnt. I don't know about you. I'm feeling it. Yeah. Yesterday was a lot. But it was awesome. Thank you to everybody who came out to the pop-up meet last night. We are loaded up and hitting the road. See you in the next episode of this never-ending circus.